The first time Professor Hale looked at me, I forgot how to breathe. Not because he was handsome. Because he looked at me like he already knew everything about me. Every secret, every weakness, every thought I had never said out loud. It was my first day at the university. New city, new life, new beginning after everything I had run from. And he was supposed to be safe. 40-something. Brilliant. Famous for destroying students with his exams and rebuilding them into legends. "Sit," he said quietly when I froze at the door. His voice wasn't loud. It didn't have to be. I took the empty chair in the front row. His eyes followed me, stayed on me. Too long. That night I received my first message from an unknown number. "You shouldn't sit where everyone can see you." My heart stopped. I looked around my dorm room. No one was there. Another message appeared. "You're safer when I can watch you properly." The next day he called my name in class. Not my last name. My first. No professor had ever done that before. "Stay after," he said calmly. My stomach twisted. When the room emptied, he closed the door himself. Locked it. "You're very good at pretending you're invisible," he said softly. "I don't understand. You sit in the front but never speak. You wear sleeves even when it's warm. You flinch when someone walks too close." My pulse raced. "You're afraid of something," he continued. "Or someone." Silence swallowed me. "I'm here to help you," he said gently. "I don't need help." "Yes," he replied. "You do." He stepped closer. Too close. "I also know you didn't come to this university by accident." Cold ran through my veins. "What does that mean?" "It means," he whispered, "you came here because you were hiding." I ran out of his office shaking. That night the messages returned. "I won't hurt you, but I will not stop watching you. Because someone else already is." 3 days later someone tried to take me. It happened outside the library. Hand grabbed my arm. Hard. I screamed. And then, a gunshot. The man fell. Blood on the pavement. Students screaming. Running. And Professor Hale standing behind him. With a gun in his hand. Precise. Red eyes. He looked at me like nothing strange had happened. "They finally found you," he said quietly. My knees gave out. He caught me before I hit the ground. "Who was that?" "Sub. One of the men your father stole from," he replied calmly. "I don't have a father," I whispered. "Yes," he said softly. "You do. And he ruined many lives." Sirens wailed in the distance. Professor Hale pulled me against his chest, hiding my face. "Listen to me very carefully," he whispered into my hair. "You're not going back to your dorm tonight." Fear exploded in my chest. "Why?" "Because," he said gently, "from now on you belong where I can protect you." He didn't take me to the police. He took me to his house. Not a mansion. Not a fortress. A quiet, elegant home hidden behind tall iron gates at the edge of the city. No neighbors. No streetlights. No sound. "This is where you'll stay," Professor Hale said calmly as he opened the door. My hands were shaking. "I can't just disappear." "You already did," he replied softly. Inside, the house smelled like books and coffee. Walls covered in shelves. Security cameras in every corner. Locks I didn't recognize. "Sit," he said gently, guiding me to the couch. "Who were those men?" I whispered. "They worked for your father." "I told you I don't know him." "You will," he said quietly. He brought me a glass of water and watched me drink it like he was counting every breath. "Your father stole millions from very dangerous people," he continued. "Before he vanished, he hid the accounts under your name." My heart stopped. "That's impossible. You were 6 years old," he said. He knew they'd never suspect a child. Tears filled my eyes. "So they're trying to kill me because of him?" "Yes. And you," I whispered. "Why are you involved?" Silence. Then he said softly, "Because I was the man your father trusted to find you when it finally happened." Cold flooded my veins. "You've been looking for me." "Yes." "For how long?" 8 years. That night, he didn't let me lock the bedroom door. Not because he threatened me. Because he removed the handle. For your safety, he said calmly. I sat on the bed shaking while he placed a chair outside my door. I'll be right here, he said quietly. I won't sleep. You don't have to. Hours passed. I whispered his name through the crack in the door. Professor, why are you really helping me? Silence. Then softly. Because I failed your mother. My breath shattered. You knew my mother. She begged me to protect you, he said. When? The night before she died. Tears streamed down my face. She knew they were coming, he continued. She made me promise I'd find you and never let anyone take you again. Fear twisted in my chest. So I'm your responsibility. No, he whispered. You're my obsession. The next days blurred together. No classes, no phone, no outside world. He brought me books, food, clothes that fit perfectly. Every size, every color, chosen in advance. That terrified me more than the guns. One afternoon I tried to leave. Not running, just walking toward the gate. It opened. For one perfect second, hope exploded in my chest. Then a voice behind me said calmly, "Don't." Froze. He stood 10 feet away. Not angry. If you walk through that gate, he said softly, they'll be waiting for you. Tears burned my eyes. You're lying. He handed me his phone. Live video. Men sitting in a black car across the street. Watching the house. My knees gave out. You see, he whispered. I'm not your jailer. I'm your shield. That night, when I cried myself to sleep, he came into my room, sat beside me, held my hand. I won't touch you, he murmured. Not until you ask. His thumb brushed my knuckles slowly. And when you do, his voice dropped. I'll never let you go. My heart betrayed me. It answered. The truth about my mother came at night. Always at night. When the house was quiet. When the cameras blinked softly in the corners. When his control loosened just enough for him to become honest. I woke from a nightmare crying her name. Professor Hale was there instantly, kneeling beside my bed. She didn't suffer, he whispered before I could even speak. My breath froze. You said it was an accident. He closed his eyes. No, he said quietly. It was a message. Cold crawled through my veins. You knew who killed her. Yes. And you never told me. I couldn't, he whispered. Because I helped them find her. My heart shattered. You what? Not to kill her, he said quickly. To scare your father into giving the money back. Tears poured down my face. They went too far. Silence burned between us. You watched her die, I whispered. Yes. And you still came for me. Yes. Why? He looked at me with something broken and desperate. Because when she was dying, she made me swear I'd protect the only thing she loved more than her life. My chest hurt so badly I could barely breathe. Me? Yes. And suddenly I understood something terrifying. He wasn't saving me. He was finishing a promise. The woman arrived 3 days later. Unannounced. Beautiful. Elegant. Confident. She kissed his cheek when he opened the door. I didn't know you were keeping secrets now, Adrian, she smiled. My stomach dropped. Her eyes slid to me. Obsessing. And this must be the little girl who ruined everything. He went completely still. Leave, he said coldly. She laughed softly. You finally found her. Fear wrapped around my throat. You know who I am. She smiled at me. I know who your father was. I know where his money is. And I know. Her eyes flicked to him. That he's lying to you. He grabbed her arm hard. Not another word. She only smiled wider. Careful, she whispered. She doesn't know you were supposed to kill her too. The world shattered. After he threw her out, the house became a cage. Not locked, but watched. He followed me everywhere. Answered every question with silence. And when I finally screamed, "Did you plan to kill me?" He didn't deny it. At first, he said quietly. Tears streamed down my face. Then why am I alive? Because the first time I saw you. His voice broke. I couldn't do it. Silence crushed us. So you decided to keep me instead, I whispered. Yes. And lie. And protect you. And control me. Yes. Something in me snapped. You don't own me. No. He agreed softly. But you're safest with me. That night I tried to leave. Not quietly. Running. Screaming. Barefoot through the garden. The gate was open. Freedom was 10 steps away. Then arms wrapped around my waist from behind. He lifted me off the ground and carried me back inside while I fought and cried and begged him to let me go. In the hallway, he pressed me against the wall, breathing hard. If you run again, he whispered, shaking, I will lock every door in this house forever. Fear and heat collided in my chest. You're afraid I'll hate you, I whispered. Yes. Then let me go. No. His voice broke. I already lost her. I will not lose you. The kiss happened after the confession, after the tears, after the truth destroyed everything. I was sitting on the floor in the library, shaking, unable to stop crying. He knelt in front of me slowly. I never touched you because I wanted you to choose me, he whispered. I wanted you to be free. Then why am I still here? Cried. Because, he said softly. You're already choosing me. I looked up. His face inches from mine. You're lying. You didn't leave, he murmured. Silence burned. You didn't scream for help. You didn't open the gate. My breath hitched. And now, he whispered. You're still here with me. Without thinking. Kissed him. Hard. Angry. Desperate. He froze. Then grabbed my face and kissed me back like he had been waiting 8 years to be allowed. When we pulled apart, shaking, he whispered the words that destroyed me. I planned your life. My heart stopped. What? I chose your university, your classes, your dorm, your seat in my lecture hall. Tears poured down my face. You came here because I led you here. Silence shattered. You hunted me. Yes. And now, I whispered. His thumb brushed my cheek gently. Now, he said softly. I'm never letting you leave. After he said he planned my life, I couldn't breathe. The words echoed inside my skull again and again. I chose your university, your dorm, your seat. I locked myself in the bathroom and threw up until there was nothing left. When I came out, he was waiting in the hallway. Not blocking the door. Not touching me. Just watching. Like he was afraid I would disappear if he blinked. I need the truth, I whispered. He nodded slowly. And took me to the locked office at the end of the hall. The room I was never allowed to enter. Inside, folders. Hundreds of them. Photos. Reports. Surveillance. And my name written on almost every page. My childhood home. My school. My friends. My dorm. Me sleeping. Me crying. Me arriving at the university. My hand started shaking so badly I dropped the first folder. You've been watching me my whole life, I whispered. Since you were 9, he said quietly. 9. Your father asked me to protect you, he continued. He paid me to disappear you if anything went wrong. Cold swallowed my veins. And when my mother died, I stayed close, he said. To be ready. Tears streamed down my face. You didn't protect me, I sobbed. You built me. Silence burned. Yes, he whispered. That night I tried to escape again. Not running. Not screaming. Thinking. Waiting. At 3:18 a.m., when the cameras shifted and the guards changed positions, I slipped out of my room barefoot and crept toward the gate. My heart hammered so loud I was sure he would hear it. The gate opened. No alarm. No shouting. Hope exploded inside my chest. I stepped outside. And froze. Car waited across the street. Engine running. Door open. And inside. The woman from before. Smiling. Get in, she whispered. He's coming. Fear twisted my stomach. How do I know you're not lying? She laughed softly. Because if you stay with him, you'll disappear forever. Footsteps sounded behind me. Turned. He stood in the doorway. Barefoot. Hair messy. As completely broken. Please don't, he whispered. My breath shattered. You planned my life. Yes. You helped kill my mother. Yes. You were going to kill me. Yes. Silence crushed us. And you still want me to stay, I whispered. Yes. The woman hissed. Now. Freedom waited 10 steps away. Real chance. A real escape. I looked at the car. At the street. At the life that could still be mine. And I looked back at him. The man who destroyed everything. And saved me from everyone else. I need to know one thing, I whispered. He stepped closer. Anything. Did you ever love me? Or was this all a plan? His voice broke. I loved you before I knew what love was. Tears streamed down my face. The woman cursed, turned, and closed the gate. He didn't touch me when I came back inside. Didn't smile. Didn't speak. He simply sank to his knees in the hallway and covered his face with shaking hands. You chose me, he whispered like he didn't believe it. I don't know why, I said softly. But I did. That night he finally told me everything. About the men he killed for my father. About the students who had tried to get too close to me. About the judge he poisoned. The trafficker he burned alive. My stomach turned with every word. How many? I whispered. He hesitated. 23. Silence swallowed me. All for me. Yes. Fear twisted inside me. And something darker. Relief. No one will ever hurt you, he said quietly. Because I already destroyed everyone who tried. Tears slid down my face. You're a monster. Yes, he whispered. And I belong to you. The next morning I woke up alone. For one terrible second I thought he had left. Then I saw the envelope on the bedside table. Inside, phone, passport, money, a note in his handwriting. If you ever decide to leave, I will not stop you again. My chest hurt. I walked through the house. No guards, no locked doors. The gate was open. Freedom waited. Again. I stood there for a long time, thinking about my mother, my father, the blood, cages, and the man who had destroyed the world to build one where I still existed. Finally, closed the gate myself. When he came back hours later and saw it locked, he fell against the wall like his legs had given up. You stayed, he whispered. Yes, I said. He approached slowly, carefully, like I might run. I'm afraid of what I am, he said. So am I whispered. Then I took his hand. But I'm more afraid of a world without you. And when he kissed me this time, it wasn't desperate. It wasn't angry. It was the kiss of two people who both knew. There was no escape left. He told me his real name the night everything ended. Not Professor Hale. Not Adrian. That name had died a long time ago. My father called me Lucian, he whispered, standing beside the window. Before he sold me to the men who trained me to kill. Cold slid through my veins. You're not even a professor. I became one to hide, he said softly. And to find you. My hands were shaking. Who are you really? The man your father created, he replied. And the one your mother begged to protect you. Silence crushed the room. And the criminal world, I whispered. He looked at me with dark honesty. I control what's left of it. My breath shattered. You're the king. Yes. Tears slid down my face. You lied to me about everything. Yes. And you still expect me to stay. Yes, he said quietly. Because now, you know exactly who I am. The police came 2 nights later. Not loudly. Not with sirens. Quiet cars. Men in suits. They surrounded the house like ghosts. I was asleep when he shook me awake. They're here for you, he whispered. Fear exploded inside my chest. They want you to testify. He handed me a file. Inside, photos. Evidence. Proof of everything. If you go with them, he said softly, you can destroy me. Tears poured down my face. You'll go to prison. Yes. They'll execute you. Yes. Silence broke us. And if I stay, you become my wife, he whispered. My heart stopped. Not officially, he added. But in every way that matters. Voices echoed outside. Knock. Miss, a man called gently. We know you're inside. We can protect you. Protect me. The word hurt. Lucien took a step back. I won't stop you, he whispered. I promised. The door rattled again. My hands shook. Freedom waited. Justice waited. A life without blood waited. I walked toward the door. Every step felt like tearing my own heart apart. Then I stopped. I remembered my mother's eyes. My father's secrets. The men who hunted me. Cages. Fear. And the one man who had burned the entire world so I could still breathe. I turned around. Lucien's face collapsed. You don't have to do this, he whispered. I know, I said softly. And I walked past him and locked the door. The police shouted, threatened, promised, then finally left. Silence swallowed the house. Lucien sank to his knees in front of me, shaking violently. You just destroyed your life for me, he whispered. No, I said quietly. I chose it. Tears streamed down his face. I don't deserve you. No, I agreed. But I belong with you. He kissed my hands, my knees, my stomach, like he was worshipping something holy and cursed at the same time. From that night on, became invisible. New name, new passport, new face in a city no one could trace. I learned his world, codes, the meetings, power. I learned how to sit beside monsters and smile while deciding who would disappear next. And Lucien, he never hid anything from me again. Never killed without telling me. Never made a decision without asking. You're my conscience now, he whispered once. That scared me more than the guns. Years later, people whispered about a woman who ruled beside the shadow professor. They said she had once been his prisoner. They said she was his weakness. They were wrong. I was his choice. And he was mine. One night, standing in our glass penthouse above the city, I asked him quietly, if I had left that night, would you have let me destroy you? Yes, he said instantly. Without fighting. Yes. Tears filled my eyes. And if the police come again? He took my face in his hands. Then we'll burn together. I smiled slowly. Good. 'Cause by then, I was no longer the girl he had planned. I was the woman who planned the future. And when I look at him now, the man who hunted me, caged me, lied to me, and loved me more than his own soul, I don't see my captor. I see the king I chose. And the kingdom I locked myself inside. Forever.